right. So we got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. And now we got Facebook going too. And apologize, guys. Yeah. We got some bad weather blowing in. So that might affect our internet connection here. So if something happens and you guys lose me, then I will do what I can to restart the stream. So but anybody that's watching right now, it looks like we got one person on Facebook currently. So this week has been an interesting week. So don't know. Who have you seen my videos on TikTok? I have the what planet is fucking up my shit today. So, and this week we've got Uranus going square with the sun. And so this is spelling a lot of very dramatic, very quick change. So, and it's stirring up things a bit, causing a little bit of chaos. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think for those of us that maybe got a little like too into our stride and got maybe a little bit too comfortable, then this could be a very disruptive force. But I think probably most of us are kind of waiting on the edge of our seats, hoping that something dramatic happens, something that'll cause a radical shift and some major change to finally push things forward and get us unstuck from the mud. So I believe this may be it, especially tomorrow we've got full moon in Leo. So this is a call for everybody to step into your power and seriously think about what it is that you want to manifest into your lives. So we got Steel Blue. I believe you were with us last week. How's it going? All right, Steel Blue, do you have any questions for me this week? Okay, and then we've got Guitar Joe, or Joseph Caps, joining us on TikTok. So, talking about a little bit about what's going on in the universe right now. We got some major change that's coming at everybody, and it's coming really quickly. So, and with this, it's if you're a little too comfortable, too complacent with where your life is right now, then this might be quite disruptive. But I think a lot of us are kind of on the edges of our seats. We've been needing a drastic change. We've been needing something to catapult us forward. So this may be the change you're looking for. So it says, what does it mean to have your moon in Leo? Okay, well, your moon is what controls that's your emotional center. So somebody that's got their moon in Leo, they're not necessarily going to have to be like the star of the show, but they need to feel like they've got a purpose. It's like their emotions and their pride are tied together, and they have to have something that they're proud of, and it needs to. You have to have that thing, that one thing that fulfills you. And people that have their moon in Leo, typically they're usually like the planners, the organizers, I guess the rabble rousers within their friend group. Not necessarily they're not necessarily like the leader of the group per se, but they have to be in the middle. They have to be planning things. They have to feel like they're being put to use. And the worst thing that you can do to somebody that has their moon in Leo is to fuck with their pride. So, and a lot of that is because Leo is also, they're very focused on their circle of friends and family. So you might be able to humiliate them, insult them, assault them, and it won't be the end of the world. But as soon as you start messing with the things they care about, as soon as you start messing with their friends and family, then it may very well be curtains for you. So, said not the message for us humans, but what literally, physically does it mean? Or you mean the full moon in Leo that we have coming up tomorrow? Because if that's what we're talking about, I mean, full moon in Leo tomorrow is going to be Leo is ultimately about pride, it is about power, it is about the ego, for lack of a better term. So what this is saying is that this is everybody, this is your moment. Anything that this is going to be a great, powerful moon for any manifestations that you want to do. Yep. So we got the full moon in Leo tomorrow. So any kind of manifestation rituals, anything like that, now's a good time to sit down and think about what it is that you really want to bring into your life. Now, the problem with this is this is something that a conversation that I had with a friend recently, and I found myself saying this. It's if you're trying to manifest these big, monumental things into your life, how can we expect that these things are going to come if we don't have any room for them? So you also need to be focusing on what am I holding on to that I need to let go of. And I think in the end, with the path that I've been down, I'm finding more and more that it's not about what I stand to gain in practicing ritual magic and studying astrology and the tarot and things like that. In the end, it comes down to what is it that I'm holding on to that I can stand to let go of. So Steel Blue asks, says, yes, you did talk about rituals last week. Could you elaborate on what a ritual might look like? So I'll walk you through a theoretical ritual. Tomorrow I'm actually conducting what we call a cord cutting ritual. So the purpose behind this is entirely taking a look at what's holding me back. What are the cords that bind me? And it's symbolically severing those cords and sending that energy away from yourself. So there's going to be several parts. Typically, any new like magic practitioner, one of the first things that you're going to learn to do is shielding, grounding, and how to cast a circle. So I will always start by grounding, and the whole purpose of this is finding a way to be able to, well, imagine that you're like a cell phone. You have all of these capabilities of being able to connect to all kinds of different things and run all kinds of different programs, but you have a limited energy capacity. You have a battery that needs to be charged in order to be able to run these different programs. So we're going into a magic ritual. This is something that's going to be overloading your processor. This is something that's going to be an enormous drain on your psychological batteries. So we have to make sure that you're good and charged before we even begin. So with this, first thing that I'll do with the grounding, it's middle of winter, so it's a little bit difficult now. I'd say typically best way to do this is get your shoes off, get your feet in the dirt, and create a connection between you and the planet. And you're going to go into a state of meditation, and what you're doing is you're trying to draw up energy from the planet to fill yourself up with. But once again, you can't fill yourself with something if you're already full of other things. So as you're drawing that energy into yourself, you need to be focusing on what energies am I holding on to that I need to let go of. So it's pull in that positive energy from it's like with each inhale in, you're drawing energy up from the earth, and every exhale out, you're forcing out the negative energies and the stale energies and stagnant energies that you've been holding on to. And you keep repeating this process until, and with every release, you're going to first pull that energy up through your legs, and then you're going to start going through the different chakra processing centers. And if you're doing this right, once you can tap into those different chakra centers as you're pulling this energy into yourself, as you're exhaling out those stagnant energies, you're going to be feeling quite a release of pressure. And there's usually a lot of, depending on where your blockages are, I find that once we hit the pain of whatever a certain person is dealing with, there's usually some sort of a big emotional release that comes up when we're doing the grounding, and when they're trying to force out that blockage and force out the stagnant energy that's stuck in that whichever chakra it is that's blocked. And you keep doing that until you've completely filled yourself, until we have all of the stagnant, stale energy has been forced out, and the energy from the earth you've pushed up through your crown chakra. And then after that, what we're going to be doing is we do what they call casting a circle. And the purpose behind this is all about cleaning your space and setting a protective area in which anything spiritually that might be lingering, we're kicking out any forces that we don't want to be in our space, and setting a boundary to where we're saying, as I'm performing this ritual, only energies, only spirits that I am inviting in can come into this space. And anything that's trying to get in that doesn't belong here will be blocked or will be summarily shown the door. So, in casting a circle, you find just about every different magical practice has their own versions of this. So, when you go, like, some of the earliest versions that you find, it's interesting that we have like the Celtic Druids, and we have Native Americans, two cultures that are completely separate from each other and had no contact with each other, but their ritual for casting a circle is almost exactly the same. Both of them are drawing upon nature and animal spirits in order to set their circle, in order to cleanse the space and provide that circle of protection for performing the ritual. So, and find different people. They have their different, like, matron, patron deities that they like to call on. I work with a lot of ancestor spirits, a lot of anybody that you were closely attached to that passed on. Those are good. Those are good spirits to try to reach out to bring into your circle. Because ultimately, if most of these rituals that I'm doing, I'll do for a private client. So it's just one person at a time. So it's a very intense, very personal thing. So they're typically going to be calling on, like, friends and loved ones that passed on to bring in their energy to help cast the circle. Then once you have the circle established, then that's when you set forth to do whatever magical ritual it was that you were planning on doing. In this case, it's going to be a cord cutting ceremony. So, preparing for a cord cutting ceremony, you'll want to make a list of everything that you feel you're holding on to that you need to be rid of. And then you really need to focus on this, because it has to be, like, as in-depth and as detailed as possible once you step into the circle. So, typically what we'll do is there'll be a little, what they call an effigy. Usually it's just a couple of sticks that are tied together to form like a little figurine. And you traditionally put something of yourself into that. Usually it's just like a little bit of your hair or something like that you tie onto that effigy. And then the whole thing is bound up with cords as you're going through your list and reciting everything that's holding you back. And there's what they call like a transference, where you're saying, I am this effigy is me, this effigy is these things that are holding me back, and you're putting all of that energy into that effigy. And then once you've put all that energy into it, then what you're going to be doing is you're going to be symbolically cutting the cords off of that effigy that represents you and represents the energies that are holding you back. You're cutting those cords off, you're severing it from you, you're sending it away. And then, of course, you set everything on fire and burn it. And then typically what you'd want to be doing from there is the important part here is after you do something like this, there's going to be a tremendous empty feeling afterwards. You're going to be feeling very drained for a while. You're going to be very lethargic. You're going to be feeling lonely and a little depressed. But once again, this goes back to what I was saying about manifestations. Like, you can't manifest these big things to come into your life if there is no room for those things when they arrive. So you have to sit with that emptiness. You have to sit with that loneliness as you focus on manifesting the things that you truly want to come into your life. And if you do it properly, then you'll have the room for that magic to come once it's time. So it's asked, do I have any courses on this? I should. I don't, but that is a good idea, actually. I think I have a YouTube, and I think I probably need to start doing some videos there. And part of that is I need to find some people that I can work with that are willing to record some of our rituals and can do some instructionals and put those online for people. Okay. Let's see who we've got. Ashley, and we've got Emily on TikTok. You guys still with us, or?